This is We Have a Problem podcast. I'm Charles Hall, and it's an honor to be with you. This podcast was built for leadership conversations and problem solving. I would say that leadership is one of my favorite topics to think through and talk about. If you have discovered an awareness of the value that you bring across different arenas and areas, it does occupy a portion of that leadership picture. I believe there's another phase that matters just as much. Helping others to discover and develop that same level or levels is where leadership can shift from busyness to betterment. To that end, and with your permission, let's begin and let's build. This inaugural entry for We Have a Problem podcast is titled Question to Quote. It's about the movement. It's about the transition from questions that should and can turn into statements. I believe as leaders, if we have too many questions, and it's nothing wrong with questions, it just depends on where they're targeted. If it's targeted to our decision making at every moment, it can overpower or overshadow us operating from this functionality of optimum output. I remember there was a time I was working for an organization and I would say that I was in charge or I was leading 20 people. And I was pulled into a meeting and they said, Charles, immediately, we need you to be the point of contact and be in charge of this, at that time, a large conference, probably 35 to 4,000 people uh, will be in attendance, including our team and our staff. And I became wide-eyed because I was trusted with 20 people. Now I'm in charge of the entire team that's on staff to make this conference take place and make sure that it runs well. If I'm honest with you, it wasn't well at first. I was overwhelmed. I had a lot of questions. I was confident in leading 20 people. I was used to leading 20 people. I was comfortable and I got a rhythm of leading the 20 people that I had on my team. And I was in the moment thrusted with a month and a half, not a year, not 6 months, not 5 months, but with a month and a half of preparation and questions that I needed answered. The questions that I had were also targeted to myself, more so than me trying to figure out what I needed to do to make this conference happen, to make it memorable, to make it excellent. And overwhelmed, I would say, was an understatement. I didn't feel as if I can present something that I would want to put my name on. It's like, how do I do this? Where do I begin? You have a team of 20 and we need to take care of 4,000 people who are coming to the campus. And there's this department and then there's that department. And everybody's running to Charles because I've been appointed in this staff meeting that Charles is going to be the POC. He's going to answer all of the questions that you need. Not only did I have questions for my leaders about what needed to take place, I had a lot of questions for Charles if he can operate and if he could do it. And I look back in the moment, I survived. I'm here. I've learned so much. But I would tell Charles 15 years ago, 16 years ago, make some statements. You have a lot of questions. Make some statements. That's why I created this podcast. The backdrop artwork, it's intentional. If you see the red letters, It says poem. So we have a problem. But where's the poem in it? How can we extract the beauty? How can we extract the rhythm? How can we extract something that's full of substance and sustenance? How can we extract the equity and dismiss the iniquity? How can we look at this through lenses of optimism? I would have more statements. I'm looking for the poem in the problem. I'm looking for the poem in the problem. Charles only saw the problem then because I was comfortable with the 20. But if I saw it correctly, it was more that I was entrusted and I was trusted to do more. One of my leaders years ago told me, feel the fear and do it anyway. I would tell Charles, man, make some statements. Make some statements. You have a lot of questions, but make some statements. How does that look? How does that look? We have a problem. We have a poem. Where's the beauty? Where's the silver lining? But where's the practicality? I want to share a verse with you. In Revelations 3 and 8, it's a popular verse. It says, I have opened a door for you that no one can close. Ooh, I love it. I love it. Listen, I love it. We quote it. But if we go to the first portion or the first part of that scripture, it says, I know all the things that you do. And this is in red letters. Jesus is saying, I have invested. Heaven has invested something on the inside of you. And before you go through the open door, it's a reminder that I know all the things that you can do. That's the reminder. But do we know what's on the inside of us? That's the practicality. Charles began to create a list of his productivity from the smallest to the middle size to the large size. Charles began to create a practical list, a logistical list. Looking back, and even today, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. How can I max out and this, and this that I can do? If it's one, I can do this one thing. If it's two or three, I can do these things. And how can I max out and not stop there? How can I take that and invest that into others? And also in the backdrop, you'll see buildings. I love building. I love buildings. But I've never been to a city or a country or another state and pulled up to a downtown area and saw one building and said, wow, this just looks so amazing by itself. That's a skyscraper. But multiple or a cluster of skyscrapers or buildings put together becomes a skyline. Oh, this is good. This is good. You become an oasis. You become a traveling spot, a stopping point for people to be refreshed. In some cities you go to, you don't go into all of the skyscrapers, but you look at and you create memories and you're able to say, man, this is a beautiful downtown, which is a skyline. It's multiple buildings put together that makes a skyline. It's not one person by itself. I have learned that it's better to build. I don't berate. Charles does not berate. I, Charles does not berate. I don't belittle. I do not besmirch. I'm intentional to build. I'm intentional to build. I want to see a cluster of buildings, but it has to start with I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, because how can we give something that we don't have? And leadership, as I shared earlier, is not keeping people busy, it's making them better. So for the betterment, I have to understand what I'm building with. That's the skyline. That's the skyline. The true mark of leadership is not that people follow you. It's that they lead because of you. Are you building a building? Or are we building buildings? One building by itself, it's admirable, but a cluster, a group of buildings together that makes a skyline memorable. I have learned, and I am still learning, because I have not arrived. I'm a student, but I love leadership. But I also don't move chess pieces anymore. I don't move chess boards. I create them. Like, what does that mean? Because if I move chess pieces, I'm trying to bring you to the game, compete, maybe win the game. If I move the chess board, now I'm trying to change the game. But if I create, if I cultivate, if I use my craftsman like adroit or adept skills, then now I'm teaching you how to build. I'm not trying to beat you. I'm trying to build. I don't move chess pieces. I don't move chess boards. I like to leave them where they're at because if I actually move chess boards, the game goes with me. The game goes with me. I want to leave the game where its foundational zygote to zenith situation or orientation or output takes place there so that they can continue to build off of what we built together. I don't take the game with me. No, 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 no. It's beyond game changing. Whew, it's game creating. But it starts with moving from questions, questions. Now I have statements. If you look at a question mark and you unwind it and you straighten it out, ooh, it becomes an exclamation mark. Let me exclaim. Let me exclaim today. What questions do you have? How many questions do you have? How many statements do you have? The takeaway is I have something to add. Tell yourself that today. The takeaway is I have something to add. All the takeaway is I have something to add. What are your questions? That's the problem. How can we find the beauty or the rhythm? As a leader, I try not to use the word balance. I typically attempt to find a rhythm. And with music, I love music. With music, sometimes an offbeat can still fit and make a melody. It's the nuance. So if I'm not moving chess pieces and I'm not moving chess boards, but I'm crafting the pieces, I'm crafting the board, what I'm teaching my team and what I'm teaching individuals is there is a nuance how to read the room. There is a nuance how to navigate because it really is case by case. It really is. What are your questions? But where's your practical list of I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, and I can invest it in someone else other than just keeping it to myself? Today, I would like to encourage you to go beyond the questions, which are normal, which are normal, which are normal. I've learned that insecurities are real, and I had them at that time, and I still have some today. But I no longer suppress them. Suppress them is, I don't want to deal with this. Suppress them is, we'll get to it later. Suppress them is, that's just a part of life. Suppress them is, dot, dot, dot. I subdue them. I no longer suppress them. I work through them. I subdue them. I say, we have to have a conversation because we have work to do. We have work to finish. We have people to lead. The earth needs leaders. We need leaders. We need leaders. But it's in the discovery and in the development where we can do more, which is important. From question to quote. From question to quote. It turns the can I question mark to I can. Oh, you just moved the I. Can I question mark, and you unwind that question mark, and then you put an exclamation question mark. Exclamation mark. Make a statement today. Turn your can I's to I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. So today for this first session, this entry to We Have a Problem podcast, I encourage you to think of someone else beyond you. Help them to turn all of the questions into statements. Maybe you feel overwhelmed. Maybe a lot has hit you instantly. I'm telling you that there is an investment on the inside of you that God has established. Philippians 2:13, it says that he's given us the desire and the ability to do what pleases him. That means he's given us the want to and the how to, and it's working on the inside of you. Oh, it's working on the inside of you. So that means you're not alone. So maybe you're in a space and you're fighting through. You don't think that you can do it. I'm asking you to go beyond the problem, find the rhythm in the poem, but also look at the practical and applicable aspects of what you can do and how you can apply it. And after you apply it, go beyond and invest it into someone else. Oh, that's the true mark of leadership. Oh, yes, it is. Let's help others to discover. Let's help others to develop. To go from question to quote. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Charles Hall, and I will see you on the next one. And we have a problem.